Welcome everyone to Life of Giants. I was about to say hammered and cheese.
Very close.
Close. It was a close one.
Same idea. Life of Hammered and Giants.
The Life of Hammered Giants. That's. I mean, it's one of those things. So, Kyle is important as always, but today he is occupied with one of those things that, everyone's like, man, I'd take a job, and then you get a job, and you're like, fuck, I hate this job. Job sucks.
Who wants a job?
I mean, listen, I remember, like, bro, when I was working at the bank, and I would have people be like, oh, you have a career. I'm like, bro, this is barely a job. Like, it's just over broke, stupid ass fucking bank. And like, people are like, but it's a bank. You make good money. I'm like, doesn't matter. Like, I got to keep up with bullshit doing this and buying suits and shit. And when you're fat, you rip through pants like it's going out of style. I'll tell you that.
Right.
I think that's what people forget. You're like, being a hobo that I am now, not so bad. Not so bad, It's hard that my wife doesn't like me, but it's okay. She doesn't like anybody. It's fine. It's reasonable.
I was about to say something, and then I was like, I won't say it.
That's probably for the best. It's probably for the best. So the subject for today. Okay, so just so everyone's aware, yesterday we did kind of a breaking news show, which I thought was really good. It really turned out really well. But we had people in the comments just doing their darndest to try and be relevant, and they failed miserably. But we really did take them to task because that's just one of those guys. What's up, Mick T? But like,
Mick?
it's one of those things where you're standing there going like, it's tough now. Like, I've heard people say this before. It's like, you don't know if you've fallen, if you're under the influence of propaganda, because technically all marketing is propaganda, right? And so, and then this is the thing is
fascism, if you really think about it too.
Well,
everything fascism is just trying to
control
your beliefs on somebody else. That's why everything is fascism. And so fascism, propaganda, so
well, this is the whole thing, right? Like, when was the last time that you saw an advertisement for the Chinese place down the street? No, they don't give a shit, and they're always packed. Okay,
because they know. Like, it's like toilet paper. You don't need, some things just don't need marketing,
See, and this is the thing, is like
food, toilet paper, cheese.
Look,
what else?
If you didn't want it,
liquid?
Well, look, have you ever seen an advertisement for a brand of salt? No. You know why? Because it's salt. Just pick one, dumbass.
Most of the time, you only have like two options. You got McCormick and the bitch with the umbrella. You know what I mean? It's really about what do you want this much salt, or do you want this much salt? Like,
realistically, right? What's up, Serge?
Hey, Serge.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, look, if it's not being advertised, it's it's a necessity because you don't have to. I'm like, I feel like there's something there where it's like, so let's be honest, and like, so much of what we have or consume on a regular basis very well may be just like stuff that we don't need, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is if you have to market your product, you are already kind of fucked. You know what I mean? Like, the idea is to make something like people need, Like, I don't think there was ever advertisements for like cell phones. Like, now there is for like the new phone. But people, like, as soon as like cell phones came out, people were like, "Oh yeah, give me that." You know what I mean? Like,
so I had this conversation with my wife. Was like, now we get new cell phones probably every like 4 or 5 years. As soon as they stop working, we get a new one.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a time we were like, "Oh, let's get the newest one," and I'm like, "Why?" And my wife was like, "I always
never been that way.
New one." Neither have I. I was like, if I need a phone, I get a phone.
That's not even with a car. I'll stick with my car till the car is like well past its fucking expiration date. You know what I mean? Like, the car should have died. I've had mechanics tell me, like, this car should have died 100,000 miles ago. Yeah. I don't know how. And I'm like, well, yeah, I pay you. That's how.
I mean, yeah, that's your job. Keep it going, right?
Right.
I love that comment, Mick. It's like knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. I mean, that's it. The newest phone now with less ports. I mean, there's that too, right? Like, oh, don't worry, you won't be able to plug in your headphones in those anymore. You're like, well, why would I do that? The
Dude, that
best is
pisses me off, man.
hey,
That pisses me off so much. Now everything's Bluetooth, and Bluetooth just doesn't work the way cords do. And
no,
maybe I'm just anti-progress, but like I miss the analog days for the most part. Like when digital stuff was new and whatnot and kind of cool. All right, yeah, give me that. But we have overdone the digital age, in my opinion, and
yeah,
it's like Bluetooth doesn't work. Like my job is specifically 100%. All my money comes from me working with my phone and the
yeah,
internet. Okay, which
yeah.
is really fucked up if the Russians do what they say they're going to do. But like, I'm not even going to talk about that. I just want to talk about the fact that like I'll be trying to like tell somebody something that's going on in the phone and I need to hit the button for it to do the thing, the next step or whatever, and the fucking whole goddamn phone freezes because
Mm.
there's an internet glitch or whatever.
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
if there's a sunspot in the sky, but like now
Hey,
it's
there's
fucking
been
me
a
over and I got to
sunspot.
start my whole phone over, which is a 10-minute process. Now that person's getting fucking mad at me because I look
Yeah.
like an idiot, which I guess
Mhm.
I am because I'm working out of a phone for myself. You know what I mean? I don't even have a real job.
Yeah.
Like, hey, walkie talkie, hey,
Hey,
Atlas.
what's up, Alice? But new AirPods I'm torn on. It's like being able to put your phone in your room and do the dishes, but it's not. This is the inside. Look, even new AirPods, they're like, oh, instead of having a cord, now you could just have this safety string. You're like, what fucking planet are you on, bro? Build something that can go in my goddamn ear, and I don't have to worry about.
And
It's
well,
very simple.
AirPods, like I got, I don't know where they are, ironically enough, but I got these big fucking headphones. This like headset.
Yeah,
Uh, they're
right here.
Bluetooth, but
Yeah.
that's the only kind I get. I don't get the little AirPods. I lose them motherfuckers, and I
Oh,
feel like they're way too fucking expensive for me
yeah.
and they come they're not together. You know what I mean? So you'll lose one, and you'll have the other one, and then you'll find the other one, and then you'll lost the other one. You know what I mean? Like, and then they come in a case. You lose the fucking case. You can't charge the bitch. It's too much. It's too much. Like,
What? Look, I have these headphones. They have a wire that goes into my mixer. If I want, I take out the wire and they're Bluetooth. I'm like, yeah. When I use them like this, doesn't cause any like look, when I have them plugged in, that's all the power they need. They're good headphones, they're perfect, no problem. But if I want to go on the go, I can. These things were fantastic, but in my ear, get fucked. It's not, yeah.
not
It's
that, but
just,
I got like, yeah. So like, we all know I have these tiny hands and whatnot, and I wear a
yeah.
size 9 shoe. Okay, but I also have tiny little ear holes. Okay, so those little earbuds, they hurt my ears. Okay, they hurt my ears a lot. Okay, I have never been a fan of earbuds, even when it was back in the cord days. Okay, I've always loved big ass headsets, like
Yeah.
almost like you got a Walkman, but they're bulkier. Now you got these that are bulkier, so it's like a man's Walkman. You know what I mean? It's a Walkman.
Oh, yeah. I'm a, so hilariously, I started walking regularly and I would put I have a hoodie just to block from the sun and I would put it over. The problem is when I put it over my it's just I'm walking around like a fucking retard. So I'm like, I started putting it on underneath and I'm like, that's fine.
Dude, I've
Atlas,
had my hoodie on while exercising outside, like jogging and walking and whatnot,
yeah, what the fuck am
multiple occasions, probably 2 or 3 times, and where a cop will just whip up behind me and like kind of like semi detain me, like
and then
kind of
you just
like
show them the color of your skin. You're like, don't worry, bro. I'm
right,
just a
like
hoodie.
I'm
It's
like
cool. Calm
they're
down.
like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Exercising,
"Exercising, motherfucker!" Like, leave me
yeah,
alone.
bro. So I have okay. Have we ever had okay, this is hilarious. No, man. So his ear holes are too small and mine are too big. Everything nothing falls like I put stuff in and it just like whoop.
They fall out.
I'm like, I'll just whoop. I'm like, yeah,
Mine
yeah, no.
almost don't. That my the earbuds almost sometimes don't even go in. It's like I have to get like uh
Bro.
pinks and like glittery Earbuds, like girls' earbuds, so that they fit in my ear. And then people are like, "Oh, you like pink?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." Like, yeah, I have to. I have no choice.
Is it the Walkman man or is the man Walkman? I don't know, but it is.
I have to get Walk girls.
There's walk, bro. That's fantastic. No, but that's like that. Realistically, like that's the wild part. Like I have a story about that. Was I have a weight vest that I can carry about 100 kilograms of weight. Okay, and like it has these little steel things that go in it, and that's it. It's 100 kilos. It goes from 0 to 100 kilos. I was walking around during the day, and people stare because I'm like, yeah, I'm carrying around 100 kilos. It's a lot. Like it's 220 pounds. Okay. And sure as fuck, I was doing it at night one time, and the problem is the vest kind of looks like a bulletproof vest when all the steel is in it. It's like extra thick. So a cop car pulls over. They come to the fucking sidewalk, and then they separate and start coming at me like they're flanking me. And I'm like, it's a weight vest. It's not what you think it is. They're like, what? I'm like, it's a weight vest. I'm not wearing a bulletproof vest. And they're like, oh, thank goodness. We thought you had been shot. I'm like, nope.
What?
Why? Just exercise because I'm like, they're like, well, you look under stress. I'm like, yeah, because I'm carrying 100 kilograms. And they're like, oh, that's fair. I'm like, do you guys want to see the things? They're like, yeah, sure. So I just like unvelcroed it. And then they're like, oh, these are heavy. Like these could be dangerous. And I'm like, oh, I'm only exercising. There's no reason for us to continue with this shit.
I don't even think a cop would stop if they saw somebody wearing a bulletproof vest in America.
Well,
They'd be like, yeah, that's probably fair. Like,
yeah. Hi, Victoria. Dino's got anime training weights. I mean,
like Goku and Vegeta.
That is exactly where it was inspired from. I do have leg weights as well. I'm like, yeah, I will wear them regularly.
I have like the sweat vest where you put it on and it makes you sweat more. I have that.
But that's the thing is I'm like, I'm all for it. The problem is like there's a track that I go for that I walk around in and I put it on and people see me and it's like they're like, oh, is that like because it's like this thick on the front and on the back. So it's like it doesn't look like you're looking at it, you're going, what the?
It's more like a utility vest.
I kind of feel like I'm Goku and or Batman all at the same time. Right. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's
like Batman in his first couple weeks on the job when he's like, I gotta get better tools, man.
I'm the Batman from the garage where he's like, I'm not wearing hockey equipment. That's me. I'm the one wearing hockey equipment. And I'm like, I'm trying to help. He's like, I'm not wearing hockey equipment, stupid. And I'm like, oh, it's a weight vest. That's exactly how I would respond to Batman. He'd be like, you're wearing hockey equipment? That's a weight vest, bro. Different. It's not the same, okay? I'm a professional, okay? Don't be like that. Yeah, so this is the funny thing is, like, I don't know, like, look, you've been in physical disagreements with people. I have been in physical disagreements with people. And hilariously, it's like, this is fucking... thank you, sir.
Marco gonna pop up right when we start talking about my physical disagreements with people. He always pops up right when that gets brought up. I swear to God.
That's factual. That is factual, bro. There is no better or worse timing than Marco. It's like he pops up, like is like, and Rumpelstiltskin arrived. And you're like, what the fuck? How did you know?
He's like Beetlejuice, but you don't have to say his name at all.
Also true. Just as entertaining, though.
Is it Greg? Okay. That makes more sense.
Is it Greg? What's up, Greg? Or whoever. It doesn't matter.
Why do you gotta be creepy and be like, it's not Marco? Tell us your fucking name, motherfucker.
Listen. Also, Greg, secret agent. No question. That's just factual. Check out Upside Down Studios, everyone. If you want to be enraged Wednesday nights, check out What the Fuck Wednesday on Upside Down Studios. It's very worthwhile. Also, too, in case anyone wanted to know, tomorrow, Hammer and Cheese, we are doing a Cobb salad, which you will be able to see us two again, and it'll be very enjoyable. Marco being Rumpelstiltskin is on the nose. I mean, yeah, no, it's fine. Like that's not a negative thing. That's a compliment. The guy's got, he's definitely got magical powers, right? That's fair. But yeah, no, tomorrow we're doing a Cobb salad. It's gonna be good. I don't know. It's funny is that the more you are in arguments and stuff like that, the more you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to experience that with my time. I have better things to do. There we go. Hammer and Cheese. Killing it.
I was looking for it. I was like, who the fuck is it?
I mean, it's probably great. Also, we have let me pull up Kyle's thing too while we're here. Might as well plug everybody's stuff.
Yeah, do your thing.
I mean, it's realistically, and also to check out fucking Kyle. Yeah, it's Greg. I knew it was Greg.
Yeah, Kyle Petrila could not be here tonight because he is on the graveyard shift. But
yeah, he's going bump in the night while people are sleeping. But he's still currently first in this competition. So check out Face of Horror and vote for Kyle Petrila. And that way we can all become fancy and successful and wonderful, and it'll be great. It'll be wonderful.
A vote for Kyle is a vote for Kyle.
That's exactly it. But I don't know. It's like I'm torn. You know, one of the things that we always experience is like, look, any plan does not survive contact with the enemy. That is factual. That is conversational. That is physical. That is on it's accurate on every level, right? So the idea that you know, we were talking earlier, I was riling Cole up where I was like, you don't know shit about tactics. He's like, I've heard of Sun Tzu, and I'm like, no, you didn't. That's not right. But like that's the thing is he's like
read Sun Tzu.
Reed, don't talk to me like that kind of shit. But
okay, all right, I'm sorry. It's on Spotify. I got the audiobook. To be fair, hey, you got me there.
Hey, remember, book club at your son's school has changed a lot. You gave him $20. It was like with a picture drawing with Sun Tzu, and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? It's fine. So the Scholastic, come on, that'd be great. But like that's the thing is like, yo, if you start fighting, you've already lost. That's the war is already like, you don't want to be able to have to resort to that kind of stuff. And that's why it's like right now in a climate where a lot of people are let's just say it, deranged, bro. Like some of the people are just mental, and you're going like, hey, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh, I'm glad, like, because yesterday when we did the impromptu thing, it was like, so President Trump, somebody there were shots fired in his vicinity, and you're like, you know what, that's fucked up, right? Like that's a fucked up thing, and people are like, well, he deserves to be shot. You're like, that's number one, unacceptable, because if one candidate is okay to be shot, that means they're all okay to be shot. That's the problem with people don't understand, and that's why like that craziness is rampant, and you're like, bro, you have to just say your piece. Yes, Scholastic missed my Lambo poster out, bro. That was like if you walked into the Scholastic school, the school fair with for book club, and you had $20, you're like, oh, I'm coming home with a poster.
The experience that everybody tells me about that shit all the time, and I went. Well, great, because like I was mostly homeschooled. There was like I think like 5th and 6th grade, I did go to public school, and then I went like 7th and 8th grade. I went back to homeschool, and then 9th grade, like yeah, 9th grade through, and I graduated early, so it was really 9th, 10th, and 11th, which is really why I'm so fucking weird. All this homeschool, I graduated early. Like I know I graduated early. That's weird, but like when I did go,
you graduated is weird. You graduated early. This is a different conversation. But go on.
Well, they offered me like
hush money.
The school I went. The school I went to, you could like if you had like an off period and stuff like that, and lunch during lunch period, you could take extra classes, extra courses. So I was just like, fuck that, I'm gonna do that. And then they didn't realize that I was gonna graduate a year early by doing this, because that's the type of person I am. I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? Like I'm a way overachiever when it's to my benefit. But yeah, well, anyway, back to the topic on hand. The Scholastic Book Fair thing, I never fucking understood that shit, because like I don't read. You know what I mean? Like not for like pleasure and leisure like a lot of people do. It's just not fun to me. When I read, I want to learn. You know what I mean? Like, and I want it quick. I want to learn now. Like I want to learn what I want to learn. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, oh, and so by the way, like this fuck all that. Like get to the fucking back of the book. Like
okay. Number one, okay, let's just go through these just quick. Is that number one? I think you honestly just missed out on Arlstein teen horror books and Goosebumps. That's fair. Homeschool book fair sucks.
I read those
I feel like
I read
hey,
the Goosebumps shit. I just didn't get it. It wasn't for me. I don't like to. I like to watch movies, not read.
I'll tell you why you don't get it. So yeah, homeschool book fair sucks is because it's old like Sears magazines and your dad's pornos. That's why it sucks. I hope you were the best student in homeschool. He wasn't. The punishment was odd. So
there were 6 of us, so
I'll tell yeah.
I definitely graduated top 6.
So that being said, okay, the reason is because when you started experiencing book fair and stuff like that, you guys were flooded with access to everything, right? Because that's when the internet started.
Yeah, because the internet kind of like YouTube came out like when I was in 5th grade, when I was 10 years old. So like that was already starting to take off.
Yeah,
like, probably the next year, honestly.
So for me though, think about it this way: is I would go to school, come home, then like only later in life was my mom a stay-at-home mom, but I'd come home. It'd be us. We'd play with the neighborhood, whatever. But then it was like dinner time at 5 because my dad got home. We had to eat. Like it was all boom, 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 boom. Now, at the end of the day, like we would have a couple cars, but it's like, oh, no one was like, oh, can I go to a bookstore and buy books? My parents like, shut the fuck up, sit down, don't talk. Nobody wants to hear you. That's not right. Like that's not. No. You don't get an opinion. So the book fair was like the time of year where you could get stuff.
Right.
And you're like, it was almost like a day off from work. You're like, this is unheard of. You're like, I'm gonna be buying shit while I'm at learning place. This is crazy, right? So it's like you only had these limit. Like that's why, like back in the day, this idea where people would make preserves and stuff, like that was a time of year. It wasn't all year round. Why? Because you didn't have access to shit all year round, right? That was the transition during my childhood to your childhood. Was I was slowly getting more and more access because of technology and progress and so on and so forth. But you got dropped into access, right? Like on demand kind of thing. And that's it's a very different perspective where like think about it is like, oh, I want something new. We just talked about this off there. It was like, I'm bored with this furniture. I'm gonna get new furniture. What the fuck are you on about? Like that's crazy shit.
It works. Like if it's broken, it's broken. That's one thing. But
bro, I remember a guy sold me it was a 35-inch TV and it was a tube TV. He's like, it's pretty heavy. I'm like, I'm a big guy. He's like, you sure? And then I showed up. He's like, oh Jesus, okay, yeah, you'll be fine. I grabbed the thing and I walked out and he's like, yeah, I had to bring that into my house with like 3 other guys. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm 4 people. That's fine. It's, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I'm built fucking like iron.
Yeah, but now, like even now, a friend of ours was moving and she had like a 60-inch TV, and I'm like, okay, I just need you guys to open the door, and I just grabbed it and turned it and just started walking, and they're like, how could you do that? I'm like, yeah, it's just a TV.
Did it have eyes? Like,
yeah, I'm like, what's the big deal? I'm like, it's a flat screen. Okay, it's 60 inches. I'm like, that's not as tall as I am. So I'm like, I'm just like walking around. I'm like, okay, no problem. And there's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's not a 4-person job. It's just a TV. Calm down, right? But it's different, right? And that's
well, I mean that too. That's one of those things where if you can't carry it into your house by people, if like you and whoever else lives with you can't carry it in together, do you need it? Do you need it? Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
you have to have an extra person bring it in. They should have like part rights to it. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, this is one of those things where like I remember like I would buy I know a place where I would get cheap washers and dryers, and like we bought a stove from them and they're like, it's not expensive. And I'm like, good, you're gonna bring it to my house? They're like, bring it to your house. They're like, the delivery fee covers bring it to your front door? I'm like, okay, I can give the delivery guy $20 and he'll take they're like, and he'll bring it inside. They're like, yeah, that's fine. And the guy was like, hey man, he's like, we're gonna bring it here. I'm like, I need you to bring it inside. Here's $20. They're like, yep, no problem. I'm like, yeah, I'm not bringing it inside because it's a stove. I'm like, I can do it. I don't want to. I'm gonna pay 2 other guys to do it. But I'm not like, yeah, if I can't move myself, like that's when people are like, oh, do you need help moving a mattress? I'm like, no, I'm a man. I'll just move the mattress myself. What are you talking about?
Mattresses do suck though, I will say, because they like bend right when you
Yeah.
don't want them to bend. You know what I mean? Like this is like a mattress only needs 2 people, not because it's heavy, but because it does not like it's like trying to carry somebody who doesn't want you to carry them. You know what I mean? Like, come on, we gotta get you out of the bar. No,
right. No. Sorry, I'm dead.
You gotta get out of the bar. We're gonna get kicked out and not be allowed to come back,
bro. So okay, so I just got sent a picture. This is the walkie-talkies are neat. Said he was a 1990 50-inch Mitsubishi TV. Okay, which like back in the day. So I had one of these too. It was
55 right there. It's a Panasonic actually.
Okay, hey, but this bad boy.
Woo!
Hey,
I
bought one of those from a friend of mine who was a 60-incher, and I'm like, so that was like 300 pounds, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I brought it down the stairs myself. He's like, how did you bring that down the stairs yourself? You're like, I just grabbed one end and dragged it. And they're like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. I'm like, that TV is indestructible. Like, that will lie. Yeah. So, bro, that's a top tier TV. And people like, oh, if you're from the side, you can't see it. Yeah, that's on purpose. You know why? I bought that TV for me. Nobody on the side. I want anybody on the side looking. Just me. I'm the only one who gets to see my big ass TV. I don't want people walking by watching my TV. That's mine.
I watched the original Spider-Man movie on one of those. The Tobey Maguire. That was like those days. Shrek.
Wow.
So that's how young I am. Like I watched cartoons on one of those bitches.
It's one of those things, right? Like that's the wild thing is times are changing so much. Like I remember, I don't know if you would have seen these, like the first like flat plasma TV, it weighed as much as a tube TV. Like it was crazy heavy, but it was also wildly expensive. So you're saying like
whenever you like hug your grandpa and like you're like, Grandpa, why are you only 5'6"? But also, why are you full of muscle? Like you feel like you're made of like cast iron. Yeah, because everything was so heavy back then.
Bro.
And they were so malnourished because everything was boiled and like scarce. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's.
But you will beat your ass to this day. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, that's one of the things where I'm like, Dino and I watched Wild Things and Showgirls on those ancient TVs. That is accurate. Because let's be honest, Showgirls, while horrible, there's a reason it's a cult classic. Baby Blue. Oh my god. There's a local TV channel that has now, jumped the shark and dog shit. But back in the day, on like Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at like 1 o'clock, they'd show like who's Gene Simmons' wife, Shannon Tweed, her like softcore porno stuff, like late into the night. Man, that's called being a man. I loved it. It was a good time. Good times. But no, man, it's old people, like that's because you had to figure shit out. Like, bro, have you seen how easy it is to use like construction tools these days? Like drills and shit aren't drills. You're like, it's like beep, 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 beep. You're like, oh, everything just shoots out and magic happens. You're like, bro, I don't have a screwdriver.
My 5'4" blonde baby mama is a construction worker. That's like this isn't your grandfather's fucking Empire State Building. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, bro, this. You know what people would do? Like, yeah, you want a tool belt? Here, this is your tool belt. All this is, okay, you just unscrew this part. Here's the screwdriver, and you just put on whatever piece, and that's it. You're done. You're like, oh, you need a hammer? You need a hammer? Don't worry. You just get hit it with the bottom part. That's it. Go. You're like, the only addition is a wrench. You're like there's 3 tools.
Don't even get me fucking started on these goddamn tools. I had a maintenance man come in to fix a leak that I didn't have, and he took my tools. He took my tools. He took a tool. He took one of my tools, and I'm kind of pissed about it. And I don't think he did it on purpose. I don't think he just like stole my shit. I think he thought it was his, but like, I can't. I don't understand the level of idiocy in the world, because like I've never picked something up and was like, "This don't look familiar. Fuck it." Like,
like like that's the thing is like that's not mine. Like I like you immediately see this is why I don't trust people who are like, oh, I didn't realize. Were you there? Like, yeah.
No,
And you didn't
people
realize.
are just dumb though. Some people are just idiots. I mean, there are some
I
people
don't
who are malicious, sure, but I think he was just dumb. I think he was just a fucking dumb guy. You know
that's
what I mean? Like,
to me, that's so alarming. Like, because so
yeah,
I
'cause he was like late 40s, early 50s. You know what I mean? Like he's been doing that his entire life.
so that's
Leave it to him. I just had it out because I fucking set shit down. It's my apartment. You know what I mean? And I think he picked it up and put it away. And I was looking for it for like half an hour the other day, blaming my whole family for it. And then I was like,
100%.
oh wait, we had the maintenance guy come yesterday. And I
Hey,
remember now.
there is zero trust.
Started a family war.
You have no trust to family. Like when you lose your channel changer, you're like, everybody get up. Everybody get up. I want to see where you're sitting. One of you fuckers is sitting on it. And they're like, I'm not sitting on it. I'm like, you're sitting on it. You know you're sitting on it. You're just stupid from the ass. From your ass to your brain is stupid. And that's why you don't know you're sitting on shit. Never lend out anything that you can't replace or will miss. I have a VHS copy of the 1986 Transformers movie that I borrowed off of Fawad Ahmad. Fuck you, Fawad. I still have it. Eat my ass. I'll never give it back. He worked at McDonald's. He'd be like, hey, I want my movie back. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Come get it. Never could. Bullshit. He was a loser. I don't care. But yeah, no, never lend out anything.
That's the crazy part is I didn't lend him. I didn't let him use it. It was just laying around because I usually when I know the maintenance people are coming, I put my shit away anyway. I grab my wallet, put my weed away, just in general, you know, because I don't trust people. But it was an emergency leak that was leaking down into the downstairs apartment. Supposedly, there was no leak that he said he'd never found a leak, so he's got to go figure out where it's coming from somewhere else. But yeah, I fucking must have fucking swiped it up and threw it in his bag.
I have like a legit.
It was a channel. It was like a
pipe wrench.
Yeah, pipe wrench.
Yeah. See, this is the thing is like, I'll tell you this much: if he's that stupid, like I no, I don't want to talk about that. Like people, I don't believe that people are stupid.
I do. I run into them all the time. And that's the other thing is people think I'm really dumb, and they fucking fall for it all the time because I play dumb in most situations, and it's so believable because I think it happens all the time.
But this is the problem. So like somebody asked me this the other day. They were like, so if you think you're of average intelligence, which I'm like, I think I am well, let's be honest, I think I'm above average because I'm a prick. That's fine. But it's like, okay, that means let's say you're above average. That means 75% of people are dumber than you. And I went, oh, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that number. I want to be average. I want to be in the middle because I'm not okay with 75% being dumber than me. Because, bro,
I feel like mine fluctuates on a day-to-day basis, but it's not hard. I feel like the average IQ is 100 points. Okay, I think I'm working from like 97 to 105 at any given time. You know what I mean? Because there are days where I'm like, man, I'm having a fucked up day. That's all my fault. And then there are days I'm having great days, and then there are days where I'm like basic average intelligence. You know.
So this is the thing: is that like the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm like it's. So I have this joke that I tell where I'm like, so there are 37% of people have an IQ below 97, which I'm like, okay. There are like 30 people have an IQ below 90%. Below 90, okay?
30 people or 30% of people?
30% of people have an IQ below 90. And I'm like, so when you're below
90, isn't that minimally disabled?
Yep. So what that means is a lot of the problems in the world are only caused by 7% of the people, because if your IQ is 97, trust me, you're disabled. You're not.
I don't know if that's fucking like necessarily true, because fucking like
military service, bro.
Mentally disabled people who are functional usually aren't fucking shit up for everybody. It's the smart people fucking shit up for everybody.
I don't think so. So this is the thing is, but remember, so that's the thing is under 90, like you're disabled. That's fine. You have a disability and it's mental. But the 90 to 97, that 7% of the population, they're mentally handicapped and they don't know it. That's the problem. So it's like,
yeah, but I feel like I can catch those people pretty quickly.
you would think,
is it me because I have mentally disabled family, or
I don't know. Listen, this is the thing.
Mostly Grayson.
Oh, but that's the problem. Is 100 is considered average. So this is
average.
Yeah, it's the vast majority of people in the United States have IQs between 80 and 120, with an IQ of 100 considered average. To be diagnosed to have mental retardation, a person must have an IQ below 70 to 75. So, military service, I think you have to be over 85.
Well, Forrest Gump supposedly had a 75 IQ. Now, that's fiction. I feel like 75 was a pretty high number for him.
I think he wasn't, like that is somebody who fell bass backwards into everything, right? Which I'm like, hey, that's awesome. It's a great story.
Maybe they're counting Alabama as a whole. Maybe IQ is different depending on what state you're in.
Listen, this is what's wild about it is that, like, I'm telling you right now, you can't figure that shit out. Like, if people aren't that intelligent, like bro, whenever you see somebody who's like, if they have $700 billion, there's, only 7 billion of us. Why can't they give us all $1 billion? You're like, that's not math. That's not math, you dumb fuck. And they're just like, I'm like, hey, stop talking. And they're like, no, I gotta tell them. I'm like, no, you don't. Just stop talking. Just stop talking. Just trust me. Stop talking. Stop talking.
Okay.
Please, oh God.
Walkie-talkie, yeah, but that's a known thing that, like, handicapped people, mentally disabled people, whatever word you want to use, whatever word you want to sign. I don't want to use all the crazy words, but like that, like Forrest being really good at ping pong is like that's a common theme with most functional mentally disabled people, because like it like you've never heard of retard strength, Goku powers, you know what I mean? Like the dude got dropped on his head and now he can defeat the Prince of Saiyans. Like, of course you saw, damn, that dude's fucking just a fucking beast at ping pong. And then you're like, dude, I'm gonna go talk to this guy real quick. And then you catch him and say, hey, Forrest, come here, man, I want to talk to you. That was awesome. He was like, girl, oh, okay.
You're like,
that makes sense. Okay. All right, that makes sense.
I love this. I hope Jenny didn't give him Magic Johnson, but bro, he definitely got herpes. Let's be honest. That's fine. I was thinking.
Oh yeah, the chocolate. I forgot about that. Actually, I know exactly what you're referencing.
Like that is like, I'll be honest with you. The entire reason that I saw the movie I Am Sam is to watch him turn the corner and eat it with the cake. That was the only reason I watched it.
I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's Sean Penn, bro. He's got a birthday cake for his daughter, and he's late for whatever reason, and he comes around the corner to pick her up. He's too hot, just full speed. Okay. And as he comes in, he loses footing and then just cake right to the face, right on the ground. And you're like, bro, it's a wild shot, but I'm telling you, it's so funny. You feel bad afterward. There's no question, right? Because you can't. You're like, I can't.
What was that there was like a whole like decade of people playing like handicapped people. Yeah. Like even Leonardo DiCaprio played one when he was like 13. What is it, Gilbert Grape?
Yeah.
Like, what was that about? Like, people were just so fascinated with like, like that.
What was the movie that the guy from Jackass did with the Special Olympics?
That was a funny movie though, but that was a comedy. I think that was making fun of that whole thing.
I laughed so hard at that movie, and I was like, especially when the one kid was like, "When the fuck do we get pink? When do we get ice cream?" I was like, bro.
You can see in the movie, you can see Johnny Knoxville start to break for half a second.
He was dying. It was the Ringer. That was what.
That wasn't a line in the movie. The kid just when the fuck it was an ad lib. So Johnny Knoxville like half lost his mind.
Bro, when that happened, you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, bro.
What was that movie called? The Ringer.
The Ringer. Yeah.
Oh my god, that movie's great. Johnny Knoxville, what happened to him? Like he looks like Jamie Lee Curtis now. Like,
hey, he does look like Jamie Lee Curtis. That's 100% sure. Factual. Yeah. It's,
bro, he was on a great I don't know, journey of making fucking solid movies there for a second, like solid B movies. But I feel like he could have broken into A+ blockbusters and shit.
You know what though? His
comedies died. That's what happened.
It's not just that his boy died, and I think that ruined them all.
What? Man. His son?
No. Like one of his boys.
Oh, Ryan Dunn?
Yeah.
The motherfucker's not gonna get over it. Did y'all really think that fucking everybody from the Jackass crew was going to live to 100? Get over yourselves. Y'all are all drug addicts. Y'all are all jumping off roofs and landing on your fucking head and fucking farting in the tubes and drinking horse cum. What did you think was gonna happen? The fact that he died in a Porsche, that was like so tame. Like when Steve Irwin got killed by the fucking Stingray.
Yeah. Like, I think that's the problem. Hey, but that's the problem.
What's gonna happen?
Bro, that's the problem though, right? Like it's the whole idea that you're like, hold on, you have a guy who's like wrestled crocodiles and he dies swimming with a stingray. You're like, what the fuck? You're like, the other guy, have you seen some of the stuff that Ryan Dunn did? Like, bro, he's sitting in the chair and a fucking airplane shoots a thing. You're like, he just goes flying, and you're like, bro, I'm surprised your limbs didn't rip off your body. And they're like, he was driving a Porsche and he died. And you're like, what? That's got airbags. That has airbags. What the fuck are you talking about? That's okay. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Porsches are just unsafe vehicles. I have found that's what killed Paul Walker. Like those things just kill everybody.
Well, okay, and also Steve-O is like a wild experience where you're just like, bro, like Steve-O. The best part is people are like, Steve was like, well, now I'm sober, so I have an opinion. You're like, hey, you're still Steve-O. Let's calm down. You don't need an opinion, sir. That's fine. Let's.
Sounds like he has like the little fucking metal piece for having like when you smoke cigarettes too much. That's how he sounds, but it's just like natural. You know, he didn't always sound that way.
At the same time, you're like I remember watching Jackass, and they put like chicken in his jockstrap, and then he had to like climb across a rope, and I'm like, what? And he's like, okay, I'll do it. I'm like, why? He's doing it. And then they like swam with the whale shark, and you're like, that's not safe, bro. That thing can eat you. That's not, He's like, no, I won't. You're like, why are you putting it in your drawers? Why are you putting it in your drawer? It's too much. Porsches are super safe, just not at 200 plus miles.
They're smooth or whatever. I've ridden in one. When I worked at Best Gyros, my boss, the owner of the place, he had a Porsche. Yeah. He drove me home because I usually walk there back and forth. And it was like a 5-minute walk, you know what I mean? So he just drove me home one night. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And like this motherfucker, since it's 4 o'clock in the morning, there's no traffic. You know what I mean? This motherfucker, not just the car jumped from fucking like 0 to like 60 in like not in all a cozier amount of time. You know what I mean? Like maybe it is a safe vehicle, but there needs to be like, you know how when you drive a bus or a truck or something and you get a Class CDL, there are certain cars where you have to have a special fucking license for. I'm sorry. Like some of these fucking cars are like McLarens and Lambos and shit. I get it. They're fucking luxury vehicles, but like, holy fuck, you're going to kill somebody if not yourself.
Listen, let's be honest. That's the one wild thing that I try and explain to people is like, look, you can't, it's not even that you don't know. Remember, they have to clear off fucking airport, like landing fields to make sure there isn't any debris. You don't think there's shit on the road, especially you're going 200 kilometers an hour, a bump?
Dude, I fucking all the time. I'm going 70, 80 miles an hour, and I'll be like, oh shit, there's something in the road, and I'll like swing by it, and I get real close to it, and I'm like, it was a garbage bag. Like it was like a bag from McDonald's or something. You can't tell what something is way the fuck up there going at any speed, really. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, also too, I've heard stories of like boxes of screws dropping off a truck, and you're like, bro, if you hit that, all 4 tires are gone, and probably more. Like, and that's why I'm like, people are like, oh, just drive over. I'm like, no, I never drive over stuff. That is reckless. I'm like, I'll never chance it and that kind of
I
stuff.
think people lose trailers.
Also,
Like,
oh yeah,
on the
right.
freeway. Like, I've heard somebody told me that like a bunch of shit fell out. Like, I guess the semi trailer wasn't like the back door wasn't secure, so it came flying open, and a bunch of shit came flying out and fucked up her entire suspension on the freeway because she drove over everything that was in it. It like was falling out of it. I'm like, oh my god! And you're gonna drive in a Porsche going 100 miles an hour? Nah, I'm cool on that.
Also, what Jagajini, thank you for this picture. That is terrifying. And the idea that he was like, yeah, I'll do it. You're like, no, sir. I do not approve. I don't know. Even now, like, listen, the fact that because I stopped skiing when I was younger because I was like, oh, if I fall, I'm gonna die here. Like, there's no one's gonna come save me. I'm just gonna die in the forest. Like, that's not right. But now I'm small enough, I might start skiing again. But I'm like, why am I being reckless? I'm an old man. It's not safe. This is why, like,
you do seem like the ski type.
Oh yeah, and I go fast. Like, I don't. You know how people go sides? No. I just and just like a fucking battering ram, bro.
That's how you get a tree and die, bro.
Bro, at 300 pounds, flying down a mountain, and I can't stop. I'm like, pizza, trying to stop. I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping for shit. Okay.
There's a pretty decent sized hill out here in Cleveland. We should hit sometime if you ever come down during the wintertime.
Well, so this is the thing is I'm waiting on a few things coming because I have to go to Greece to do some legal stuff, but I'm like, I wanna do some traveling during the wintertime, but I'm like, I don't want to drive during the wintertime, so I'm thinking I might take a bus again and stuff. Also, if I lose enough weight, then it might be easier to take the bus because this time, even still, the bus kind of sucked. I'm still too fat for the bus. Like, I'm like
the bus almost no matter what.
I know, but I have a theory that I'm still too fat, which I probably am.
I don't think it is. You're gonna get skinny, and then you're gonna be like, "This still sucks." Why am I still too fat? Like, no, motherfucker, your fucking bones are sticking out.
I can see Dino making a Dino-sized hole in the wall. I mean, like, I've done that before. It's fun. It's just, oh yeah, no problem. That's top tier. What's up, Kyle? Welcome. I don't know. This is the whole thing, though. Is like, at this age, I'm like, I kind of want to start like fighting again and things like that. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm old. I don't want to get hurt.
You want to start fighting people, or you want to go to like a school and learn how to fight? Is what you're saying?
I don't. Well, so this is the problem: is that people are like, oh, well, like you could learn like jujitsu and stuff like that. I'm like, no. I want to spar. I want to spar with people, right? But the problem is, I don't want to spar with someone who's like, I'm 20 years old, and then like he knocks my ass out. I'm gonna feel like a bitch, right?
Then,
like,
spar with me. We're pretty much the same weight class now, anyway. I think we're the same weight, actually, right?
Yeah.
I dropped to 250 finally. So
I'm in and around there. Like, I'm going back and forth.
But I mean, technically, if you're above 200 pounds, you're in the same weight class. That's how boxing works, at least, because it's just 200 and up, which is insane. Which is why when I hit 200, I was like, I'm done boxing. Like, nah, fuck that. Because I'm 6 foot tall. That's a short heavyweight too.
Okay, he's gonna be on the bus and be like, "Why are all these fat people so fat?" That's 100% accurate. He wants to be in charge of the anti-bullying campaign. I mean, also too. I'm not sparring with you, Kyle.
I'll spar with Kyle.
Hey, I will spar with Kyle, but also too, like, if I spar with Kyle, I'm poking him in the eye.
Boxing. Like, I'm not doing all that other fucking twisty fucking kicks and like grabbing the earlobes bullshit.
That's the problem. Is like, I'll do that shit. Like,
I'll grab your gloves.
I'll grab your face and put my thumb in your eye.
School, like fucking Teddy Roosevelt did back in the Oval Office, like a man does. Not all that fucking technical fucking Bruce Lee shit.
No, like, and that's the thing is, I'm like, I just want to spar and just have fun, right? Like, I have no problem. Head guard, mouth guard, gloves. Like, I would use like thicker MMA gloves. I have like not the really really thin ones. Like, they're like 2.5 inches of padding.
I don't even use head guards. I just use a mouth guard and gloves.
Yeah, like I would only use a head guard, or like I would cover my ears up because I don't want to have that kind of.
I don't know. I just don't. To me, sparring, you're not trying to hit your hardest. Sometimes you get tagged by accident because you fucking went the wrong way. But
Dino wants to spar with a room filled with 8-year-olds. I'll gladly be his. Oh, I would fucking head guard. They make those.
My kid is 8,
bro, and I would beat his ass. There's no question. This is the thing is like, so I've started to work out at home, and I'm up. So I'm like, my arms are getting bigger, my shoulders are getting bigger, and it's good, right? But at the same time, you see this kind of shit, and you're just like, fuck. Ronnie Coleman.
Can I just say one thing? Yeah, of course, obviously, you can fucking put my kid into next week, but I don't think you realize, like, I'm teaching him young that, like, if you do something he don't like and he feels disrespected, he'll wait till you come down the hallway and he'll come out of like one of the doors and just like fucking kick you right in the fucking shin and be like, "You remember the other day?" I'm like,
"Hey,
yeah,
listen,
man, come here so I can whoop your ass."
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, it's got to be a back and forth. That's fine. You can get me. Yeah, lightweight, baby, bro. Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie can't punch. That's also true. Ronnie can barely walk at this point. Let's be honest. But the thing is, like, bro, can you imagine you getting pulled over in Florida, and this fucking guy gets out of the car and goes, "Sir, where were you going?" "Wherever you say, sir. Just take my money. I don't know. Just don't kill me." You fucking kidding? Like, because Ronnie Coleman was a cop in Florida, right? And you're like, bro, hey, he had to get his outfits specially made because they couldn't make them that size. You're going, what the fuck? Are you fucking crazy?
They don't specially make uniforms for people. For
cops? Not that. Well, they only make them fat. They only make fat ones. They don't make muscle ones. Bro, you know how many times I've seen a fat cop and I'm fatter? I'm like, "You're a cop?" I'm like, "Get the fuck out of this fat piece of shit." And people are like, hey, you can't call him that. I'm like, "Why? Look at me. I'm a fatter piece of shit. That fat piece of shit shouldn't be a cop." And they're all like, "Yeah, it's fact."
As a DoorDasher, I can't tell you that I have to tell you that the fucking donut thing is real, by the way. I go in and pick up Dunkin' Donuts and like all these little fucking bakery fucking places. There are always cops in there, especially before lunch, specifically before lunch. Like, it's crazy.
Absolutely. But that's the thing is, anyone who doesn't realize, you're like, yeah, man, you know what?
Take one. They're like, I guess they're just like being bullied by their superiors into eating donuts and drinking coffee all day. I need coffee all day long. So I guess so you can shoot somebody. What do you need to be fucking caffeinated for? You're not gonna run.
You know what a high stress situation needs? Caffeine, you dumb motherfuckers. Okay? Hey, this guy pulls you over. You're like, all right.
I'm a problem.
Shit.
I don't have fear like most people have fear. I have fear for like my child. I have like the fear of being homeless, but I don't have fear of people. You know what I mean? Like I walk in every situation like, okay, I can be the problem.
So,
but I'm gonna try not to be, you know.
So this is the thing is like I personally, like, I talk a lot of shit, but at the same time I'm like, I have no problem. Like, when people are like, "Hey, I heard you said something to me," I'm like, "Oh, did you want me to say it to your face? Because I'll fucking do it." I'm like, if you didn't hear it once, I'll tell you again. No problem. I have no qualms about that shit. If I say it, I will say it to your face, right? But the thing is, when I see somebody that I'm like, I know the difference between me and normal sized people. So when I see somebody like when I met Lou Ferrigno or like Ronnie Coleman, I'm like, ooh, that's gonna be a problem. Like, fuck. Like, okay. Like Lou Ferrigno, bro. That was the first time I walked up to somebody and I went, oh, I'm gonna have to cut you. Like, I'm not. If I get into a fight with you, I'm cutting you. That's what's gonna happen. I'm going. Those are eyeballs and fucking. I'm grabbing your balls. Like,
I do fucking. I walk around with a fucking knife. So if I need it, you know, like I'll use it. But that's not my first.
No, like my thing in this. Like, I was also talking with Kyle. He's like, "Well, how would you fight?" I'm like, "Oh, bro, what I would do." I'm like, "I wouldn't even punch you in the face. I just start using my thumbs and just fucking hitting your rib cage, just like pop, 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 and then right in your fucking eyeball." Like, and he's like,
"I don't even know how to fight dirty. That's the thing."
Bro, I will grab your fingers, your eyes. I will rip off your eyelashes. I don't give a shit. Like, so
I've never needed to fight dirty because it's always gone usually pretty quickly. It's over real fast. Most people don't even get in that fight with me. That's been the majority of my experience.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, Kyle. I don't fight dirty. I fight. So that's the problem is, I've slowly started to explain to people that I'm like, hey man, like I want to spar with people, but I want to have protection because I know I fight dirty. And I'm like, I'm practicing for survival. I'm not practicing for let's exercise. No, I want to hurt people. That's like I know, and that's why I'm like,
you're kind of approaching that age where like that's kind of over for you and you just need a gun, bro. Like
that's the problem. And I'm like, I don't want that either.
I'm not at all clear on what the gun situation in Canada is. What is it? I heard mixed fucking info about, is it illegal? Can you get them?
Handguns are illegal.
When did that happen? Because I feel like not recently. That long ago they weren't.
So it's a big deal. Like you do have to go. There's a huge background check and stuff like that for both. But like I'm okay.
Well, they're not illegal then.
Now handguns are, but at the same time, it's ridiculous. I like that.
When did that happen?
Ruthless aggression era. During the pandemic, just before the pandemic, I think.
They took your guns away during the pandemic? Oh hell no!
Shotguns legal, handguns not legal since 2018. No, it was before the pandemic.
2018. So, but what happened in 2018? Did y'all have a fucking?
Oh, we got a homo for prime minister.
So nothing happened?
No. Oh, bro, the kind of fucking tree huggers we have up here, they're like, somewhere, someone, they hit somebody with a gun, so we shouldn't have guns. You're like, yeah, the criminals have guns, fuckface. What are you talking about?
Right, yeah.
It's that whole idea where people are like, this is the mentality for people who talk about gun control. They're like, okay, if they're bad drivers, you know how you save all the good drivers? Take all the good drivers away. And you're like, oh, you can't do that. Exactly. That's why you have to have guns. Hey, I agree that there should be background checks and people with mental health issues shouldn't have guns. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But that doesn't mean
I'm of the opinion that like fucking schools in America, teachers should be it should be required to be a teacher in America to have a CCW and to be armed in school. You know what I mean?
Well, let's be honest though, teachers are barely smart enough to be teachers at this point. Like they're so hobbled. They're like, no, just tell everybody.
I feel like having to go
tell them all they're gay. Yeah.
Right. I feel like having to go through handgun training will weed out the weak, and it'll also teach people to like they'll turn into like something, because I don't know, like whenever you learn how to fish, you're like, okay, well now I kind of want to learn how to hunt. Okay, now I want to learn how to fucking make
I think it'd be fish.
Salsa, you know what I mean? You end up going down this fucking spiral where people don't do the shit like that anymore. They just live in their city and then they go to their they get in their car and they go to their home and they have their little fucking frozen dinner. You know what I mean? And sometimes they go out to have a chef make their, you know what I mean? People need to get back into learning how to do shit. And I feel like getting a CC dub and being forced to have to get a CCW if you want to be a teacher will actually open up a lot of other fucking venues. And it'll also scare off a lot of people, too. That don't need to get that job anyway.
Cole, you'd have more shootings if the teachers were armed. I mean,
I don't think so.
Hey, number one, some of those kids need to be
not subs. I'm not talking about substitutes. Now, substitutes I understand. Because, like, every child is treated as a substitute like shit. Okay? And I'm guilty of that. I'm sure all of you guys are guilty of that. Substitutes, no.
Oh no, a substitute that's no, you can't give them that. Look, that's like a rent-a-cop. That's a security guard getting a gun. Absolutely not.
Right.
You can't. No. Security guard, there's a reason you're a security guard and not a police officer. It's because you're 120 pounds and couldn't do shit. Okay. Also, learn how to fish, then hunt humans. Probably some politicians' logic. I mean,
right.
Let's be honest. There are a lot of politicians that definitely fall into that category of them. Subs get.
I mean, hell yeah, give them fucking rubber fucking bullets. Even if you don't want to go full on fucking weapons, give them fucking done with rubber fucking ammo. That'll do the job. That'll fucking incapacitate a shooter.
Hey, as a little callback, do you remember in fucking Jackass where they had the claymore with the rubber bullets, and Johnny Knoxville just like this covered his face, covered his dick, and said, "Let's go." And you're going, "Hey man, you know what? Have that at the front of the class, right above where the teacher sits." And they're going, "Hey, you guys want to talk shit? Oh, you want me to press the button? You're all gonna go home with bruises. Everybody here, except for me. Who wants it?
I'll string that teacher up by his ankles, bro.
Bro, can you imagine if you want to be? I would have classes. Like that's the thing is, you should have a class. If in a country where you have that kind of access, there should be a class on gun safety, law, justice, process. Like those are things you should be educated on. And they're like, oh, think about it. How many times in school did anyone tell you, oh, if you get a ticket, you can go down to the court office and try and fight it? And you're like, no, you just have to hopefully figure it out, right? There was also just Google when you were growing up.
Oh, like how to like pay taxes, or change a tire, or change your oil, or interview for a job, just all that shit.
Listen,
what shit we need.
Listen, and rubber bullets are just less lethal, just enough for it to be used on young people. I think that's reasonable. Or a fire hose. If you had a hose in your school, I think that would be good too, where the teacher could just give you a little spritz in the face. Hey, stupid.
Like Paul Blart got a purple heart. I didn't know that.
Learn how. They didn't give Paul Blart a gun. He got a horrible. Well, thank you, Cole, for being guest host on this show. This has been very, very enjoyable. That's for sure. I want to make sure everyone gets time to look at Ronnie Coleman in his outfit, which.
Why are you putting this gay shit on to close the show?
Bro, I'll be honest with you. I hope to look like that someday. Same color skin, everything.
He'll spend a lot of time in the sun. That's Florida for you.
Hey, man.
That dude's white. He's Caucasian.
Yeah, that's a white guy.
Florida.
Ronnie Coleman's actually white, guys. That's the breaking news right here. When you guys are doing the Wiener Challenge. So, that's a good point. So we have Wiener Apocalypse is happening on
September 26th.
September 26th. It's gonna be special that week.
That's a Thursday. That's next Thursday.
It's next Thursday.
Not this coming Thursday. Next Thursday.
Yeah, because next Tuesday we aren't going to be doing hammer and cheese. We're doing that special during the week. Tomorrow we're doing a Cobb salad on hammer and cheese, so come check us out. Do you have anything else going on this week? You have your other two shows, yeah?
Yeah, I got my show with my sister, The Greatest Goddamn Show on Air. We're gonna probably talk about this fucking Trump thing again. We're gonna beat that dead horse. Yeah. Who knows what else we'll talk about? It's usually news related and then whatever's going on in our lives. And then later on in the evening, my son Jack, I'm going to teach him to make something. I have no idea what. Usually we kind of start spitballing for that show on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So check it out. That's called Every Other Weekend Meals, by the way.
Every Other Weekend's Meal. So come check it out, guys. So like, subscribe, share our stuff, make clips, make fun of us. We love it. In the meantime, have a great day, and always remember, Ronnie Coleman had to make his own clothes. It's ridiculous.